So you're thinking about moving or visiting the southeastern Idaho area, but you're wondering, what are the differences between all these little towns in this area? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about the difference between Rexburg and Idaho Falls. They're very similar and not too far away from each other, but there are some key differences that you might want to know before you come. You ready? Let's go! Number one, let's first talk about location. Rexburg is about 30 minutes north of Idaho Falls. Idaho Falls is a little bit closer to Utah, and it's a little bit more southern than Rexburg. Rexburg is a little bit closer to Yellowstone, the Grand Tetons, Montana, and even the world famous sand dunes that are not too far away from Rexburg. So if you're thinking about moving to Idaho Falls but working in Rexburg, or moving to Rexburg and working in Idaho Falls, it's about a 30-minute commute from one another. Number two, let's talk about population. Rexburg is a little bit smaller than Idaho Falls, although I feel like it's pretty comparable. The main difference is Idaho Falls is consistently growing. Idaho Falls is in Bonneville County, which is becoming more progressive in the way that they want to grow. They want to provide housing for people. They want to have more business opportunities and growth in general. And so as of 2024, we've got about 68,000 people here in Idaho Falls. If you lump Ammon into it, which is basically the same area of Idaho Falls, it's over 100,000 people in this area. In Rexburg, we're closer to 40,000 people. It's projected to grow up to 100,000 people in the next 5 years or so, but as of right now, it remains to be a smaller town than Idaho Falls. Number three, cost of living. It's very, very, very close to Idaho Falls. Rexburg and Idaho Falls are relatively lower cost of living in regards to some other states that people are moving here from, like California, Oregon, even Utah. I will say, as a real estate agent, I'm noticing that some houses in Rexburg are higher than the houses in Idaho Falls, meaning they cost more price per square foot than Idaho Falls. I'm not entirely sure why Rexburg has a different price point for houses, but I am noticing that some houses in Rexburg tend to be more on the higher price per square foot than it is in Idaho Falls. So something to consider if you're thinking about where to move. And maybe it's because it's more of a student population up there, and there's more apartments and people are renting, and so housing is just less available. I'm not entirely sure, but I have noticed that homes in Rexburg tend to be a little bit more than Idaho Falls. Number four, we're going to talk a little bit about the people. In Idaho Falls and in Rexburg, it's both a very family-friendly area. Lots of families, lots of kids. I would say that Idaho Falls is actually a little bit more older in regards to the ages of people in Idaho Falls. Some baby boomers are here, some mature business owners are here, and Rexburg has Brigham Young University, Idaho, or BYU-I, which is a school owned by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So it's a college town. So the overall age is a little bit younger in Rexburg because there's a lot of college kids. So it totally makes sense why there's a difference there. And with that said, Rexburg and Idaho Falls are very prominently a Christian community. That's all of Idaho in general, a very big Christian community. All of Idaho loves God, guns, and freedom. That doesn't change just from going a half hour north from Idaho Falls to Rexburg. However, Rexburg being such a big college town owned by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you're going to have a lot more members of that church there. They're also known as Mormons. In fact, they are building a second temple in Rexburg right now for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so it's a very prominent community up there. It's a little bit different than Idaho Falls. It has a little bit more Christian churches that are Baptist, Catholic, Protestant, Methodist, non-denominational. You have a lot more options in Idaho Falls versus Rexburg, where the Mormon population is just more in that area. Number five, last but not least, shopping and things to do. Idaho Falls actually does have a lot more shopping, restaurants, and things to do than Rexburg. Rexburg does have a Walmart and Cal Ranch and Starbucks and Denny's. They do have some chain restaurants and stores, and also some local stores. They have a cute downtown that I have a full downtown Rexburg video coming soon, so look for that. They have a very cute downtown, and they do have some fun things to do. What I noticed, a lot of the activities to do in Rexburg have to do with the university. So there's the sports, theater programs, or when I was there visiting a friend in college years ago, decades ago it seems, we would go visit the improv show, and they have a really fun improv troupe up in Rexburg. They have also musical performances, local artists are up there, but Idaho Falls is much bigger. We now have the Mountain America Center that has the hockey team, Chuckers baseball. We also have some music that comes into town. We have more restaurants, more shopping. We have a Costco, whereas Rexburg doesn't. So there's a little bit difference there. I mean, bigger town, more people means more options for restaurants and shopping. With that said, I mean, you may have seen my other videos. Idaho Falls is not a big shopping metropolis area. Idaho Falls is still considered a small town, but we're just comparing Idaho Falls to Rexburg, and Rexburg just being a little bit smaller and a little bit fewer options than Idaho Falls. However, one of my favorite spots in Rexburg is Rexburg Rapids. This is a water park in Rexburg that is so fun. It's open during the summer, so if you have little kids, or even if you don't have little kids, it's just a really fun water park that Idaho Falls doesn't have. And so people are willing to travel that 30 minutes north to splash in the water, play on the slides, and soak up the sun in these hot summer days in Idaho. And it doesn't get too hot here, that's why I said that. Speaking of hot summer days, I did want to mention that the weather is very comparable to Idaho Falls. It's not much different. However, I've noticed that Rexburg has a little bit more snow and is a little bit colder. So if you're looking up weather in Idaho area, you'll notice that Pocatello, Idaho Falls, and Rexburg vary in degrees of temperature and then also how much snow they get. In my opinion, Pocatello gets less snow than Idaho Falls gets less snow than Rexburg, and Rexburg seems to be a little bit colder, although it's not that much different in elevation. That's just something that I've noticed over the years. Well, that's it for this video of Rexburg versus Idaho Falls. If you're looking for more information about the southeastern Idaho, of things to do, restaurants to eat at, places to live, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and you'll be the first to know about all things living in Idaho Falls and the surrounding areas. Well, until next time, I'll see you later. Bye. My name is Annika Wilder, and I'm a local real estate agent here in the eastern Idaho area. If you're thinking about moving here, whether it's next week or next year, I'll be happy to help make your move smooth. Please give me a call, send me a text, or send me an email, and I'll be happy to help.